Why does this continue to happen? Why? I just do not understand why we can't close out teams that are inferior to us, that have little to no talent on them. We are beyond measure, without a doubt, 10 times better than this team. I mean, this organization has been set back close to a decade because of an awful trade that they made. To acquire talent when they moved to Brooklyn, okay? Close to no talent on this team, and we struggle with them. We were down mostly the entire game, and we're like clawing our way back. And all we had was virtually one guy out. If you look at it, yeah, Muscala didn't play tonight, but without buckets, it's like they have no identity. They don't know what to do. Joel Embiid was a monster in the first half, okay? Absolute beast. Nobody could touch him. Without doubt, could not contain him. Yeah, he struggled a little bit with the double teams, but that's his huge issue. He was going down on the block. He was doing work. He was 2 from 3 from downtown tonight. He had a lot the magic was going for him, okay? Dominating. Ben Simmons had a good game tonight as well. Okay, you got your 2 studs that had great performances. The bench got outscored tremendously tonight. You let the Nets the bench, not even the starters, score 70 points. And then you let a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, okay? Dude sounds like a freaking noodle that works at Bed Bath & Beyond, drop 39 on you. You make him look like Steph Curry out there tonight. It's a joke. The defense is non-existent. This shouldn't happen all because one guy doesn't play. Not one guy. And we let them score. Now, this team also is in the middle of the pack of scoring most points throughout the year. Okay, I think they average about 108. But the 2 times they've played us, they've scored their highest out of the entire season. So they scored 127 tonight. And then when we played them in Brooklyn, they dropped 125. And Brett Brown's known as a defensive coach, a defensive-minded coach. Learned under Popovich. Where is it? Because I've yet to see it in the entire season. It's a freaking comical joke to have this guy as our coach. If you have one guy down, okay, and you're shorthanded a little bit, you're supposed to make up for it with your coaching, which he did not do. How is it in the third quarter you have them in the penalty? You have them in the penalty, okay? 11 minutes to go, and you go to the line how many times? 3 times? Are you freaking kidding me, bro? Where was the aggression out of the Sixers? There was none. They were lackadaisical. Brett Brown should have got on them to draw some plays up. He didn't take J.J. Redick out. He left him in there for 35, 37 minutes. Why? He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Take him out and put somebody else in. Okay, you were down what? Like I said, from your bench. You sent, God, I can't even think of Bolden down to the Bluecoats, okay? Well, for some reason, we're still shorthanded off of this trade. After we acquired Jimmy Butler, we just seem to have an 8-man rotation for some reason. Get other guys in here. Get other players in there so you have more depth. It just baffles me. It baffles me to why this happens. Okay? 11 minutes and you don't go to the line more than 3 times. I think altogether we went 13 or 15 times to the free throw stripe. It's a joke. They went 43 times. They only missed 5 free throws. And we let them score, their bench score 70 points. They went to the line 43 times. That's how you're successful in the NBA. That is how you dominate when you're an underdog. You're in our home court. We're in the home court. We're 14-1. And you let these garbage-ass teams that have no right, no business even being on the same court as you, and you let the penetration. This penetration is 2 dribbles and right to the cup. There is absolutely no resistance out there whatsoever tonight. And, of course, they're not going to change it. It's easy. Why are you going to change the game plan? And they made no adjustments to stop it. It just irks me. It gives me the biggest headache watching this team. And then you got Brett Brown up there making excuses. Well, we got to do a better job. It's like Andy Reid after he used to have all the losses after the Eagles. Well, we got to do a better job. We got to do this, this, and that. And then nothing changes night in and night out. We are not going to win with this guy. I'm tired of Brett Brown's excuses. We have to keep acquiring superstars to make this moron look legit. I just can't. Why do we have to keep mortgaging and getting more players in here because this dude doesn't know how to coach basketball? It's just so frustrating. And then we're going to have the Pacers coming here on Friday. What are we going to do? They're 10 times better than the Nets because most of the NBA is better than freaking Brooklyn. They don't even have their leading scorer. And just the dribble penetration of Spencer Dinwiddie. The guy looks, like I said, like Steph Curry when he plays us. He's like unstoppable, unguardable. You got J.J. Redick on him most of the time. Why? Put Wilson Chandler on him. Make adjustments. Stop switching when they do a pick and roll. Go underneath the screens and just stay on it. My God. And we don't know the status of Jimmy. Okay, he had an MRI on the groin, and it's favorable. So who knows how long he's going to be out. Korkmaz, I thought, did good in his second game. He started tonight. He got 18 points. The jump shot looked wet again tonight. He played well defensively. He's here to stay. He's trying to prove to himself, like, do not trade me. I deserve to be in this line, which he does. He deserves to get a lot of minutes. But I thought Shamet, with his play at the end, he barely got any minutes tonight. I think he got, 10, 13 minutes tonight? And you look at JJ, who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, as I said before. Just could not hit anything. Take him out, Brett. He is just obsessed and bullheaded and just leaves him in there and just continuously lets him miss shot after shot after shot after shot. Well, we have another capable scorer and shooter in Landry Shamet. Take him out and put him in. He can do the same exact stuff JJ can. I think he's even better than JJ. And then in the second half, after Embiid goes off for 23 points and 17 rebounds in the first half, he gets 3 shots afterwards. Why did we go away from Embiid? Why? The formula was working. It got us back into the game, and then you just stopped doing it. You go back to doing senseless plays and not doing anything. God, man, it's just like I want to take my TV sometimes and just beat the shit out of Brett Brown. To see him over there just walking around with no facial expressions, no emotions, nothing. He just looks clueless. Creeper 199, I'm not an Eagles fan, so I don't care that the Eagles are out of it or not in it at all. What's up, Rod? Very, very frustrating, bro. I don't know what time it is in Australia, but if it's early or late or whatever time it is there, just go to bed. It's not even worth your time. Yeah, it almost got to the point, Creeper, because we cannot be losing to teams like this. Okay, yeah, it's one game, but still, it exposes the Sixers, and there's just it's frustrating because it's always the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what kills me. That's what I want to break my TV sometimes for. What's up, Eric? There's just no excuses for it anymore. Yeah, they're ahead of the Celtics, but I mean, look at the teams they lose to and are in it. It's always a nail biter with this team. He always makes excuses. I'm not watching the replay, Gaff. Who was good and who was... Embiid was good. Simmons was good. I would just basically blame it on the defense of the team. It was an overall bad defensive game, and it's all on the coaching. It was the coaching. Embiid got into a little bit of a struggle, okay, because the focal point is always going to be on Embiid. And they did a great job of double-teaming him. He had six turnovers. They were pushing him off a little bit. I hate when he tries to handle the ball, but he struggles. He doesn't know what to do when they double him. And then he started to put in work. He was on the block. He was getting his points, and they strayed away from him. Okay, we got them into foul trouble with 1 minute to go in the third quarter, and we didn't attack the basket. There was no aggression whatsoever on the Sixers offense at that point. Why are you not going into the cup, setting hard screens, trying to work to get into the line and take advantage of 11 minutes? That does not happen almost ever. I don't think I've ever seen that in the NBA, where a team gets into the penalty with a minute to go into the third quarter. Does Boston beat us by on Christmas Day? I'll say 26. I don't know, Sean, but people shouldn't be sleeping on the Celtics just because they went on that bad losing streak. I am a Phillies fan, Creeper. I root for every Phillies team except football. It's just, and the turnovers, the senseless turnovers on top of the 13 times at the charity stripe. He kills us all the time. He's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong. Okay, he's not like a scrub, but he's not great either. And there was no adjustments made on him. Why wasn't our best defender on him? You either had J.J. Redick on him or T.J. McConnell. Put Ben on him for the entire time. Their offensive threat is their two guards. Nobody else. There is no reason that Ben or Wilson Chandler or whoever should be guarding anybody but those two. The guard penetration has been the Sixers' weakness all season long. It's Brett Brown. He's a joke. He's a clown. He should not be a freaking coach in the NBA. Assistant coach at best. He got hired because he was on the Spurs for 13-some years, and we thought we would get some culture or something that will resemble Greg Popovich, and I have yet to see it in 6 years. There were excuses before because there was no talent. Well, the past 2 years, there's been talent. As a Celtics fan, Sixers will lose. On Christmas Day, you mean? We probably will. We played down to talent, though. We always play down to talent. So now the 2 losses that we have at home are to 2 bottom-feeding garbage teams in the Nets and Cleveland. And night in and night out, we are letting teams like this who don't have great offensive weapons or a great offensive team score over 115 points. There's just no resistance. There's no game planning. There's no adjustments. And I know you guys are frustrated with it as much as I am because you see it a lot with the Eagles and Jim Schwartz. It's like they just bang their head into the ground because they're so stubborn and so rock-headed that they don't know what to do. They just stick with it. Jim Schwartz refuses to blitz, so that's his issue. Especially when you have a secondary like they do in the Eagles. Then you got Brett Brown, who just doesn't make adjustments because I think he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just a moron. He's just a joke. We will not win a championship with him at the helm. Mark my words. On the other note, yeah, we do need. Of course, we need more pieces, but being without Jimmy and Muscala should not cause us to lose to Brooklyn and let them score 127 points. You know, I was okay with Jimmy sitting out. That's fine. You should be able to handle a team like this. The bench should have produced a little bit more, but the defense shouldn't let their bench score 127 points, but they shouldn't let their bench score 70 points. Or let them get to the charity stripe 43 times. On the road, mind you. Just, I don't know what we're going to do. Okay, that's a huge loss. So now we're third out of the East. When you lose to the Raptors, okay. It's different. Not when you lose to Brooklyn. How did the Sixers lose to the Nets? My God, Sixers fire head coach and assistant coach. I don't know, Creeper. I do not know. It's just very, very frustrating to see crap like this. The turnovers. We've led the league in turnovers since he's been at the helm for the past 6 years. 30th, 29th, right around that realm. Nothing changes. And I'm just tired of watching it. I don't want to get out of too much playoff contention, but one guy shouldn't make that big of a difference on a team. At least my Celtics won overtime. There you go, Creeper. I mean, that's awesome. But I hate the Celtics, so I'm not happy they won. I'm not. Sixers should clean house. With the coaching staff, you mean? I hope you're not talking about the team altogether. I don't pay ball in Golden State any mind. They tank half their games so people will watch games. Nobody will watch. I respect Sixers as a Celtics fan. I appreciate that, Creeper. I had a chance that they went to the line more. Exactly. The third quarter, and they went away from Embiid. Embiid had 23 points, 17 rebounds. He was killing it. Killing it. Yeah, they should, Fox. I really wish we would have kept Lloyd Pierce. But Embiid only had 3 freaking shots in the second half. 2 quarters, 3 shots. Why do you go away from your best player? Answer me that. The recipe and the formula was working before. You got to work inside out. That, and first and foremost, the offense should be run through Joel Embiid at some point. He should touch the ball every time on the court. He had like 16 free throws. Yeah, I know, Philly 04. I would take anybody at this point, Sean. Anybody other than Brett Brown. I'm done with him. I'm done. Do you remember the 2009 World Series, Yank? I do. I was a lot older than that. That's crazy. Yeah, Mark Jackson. Anybody, dude. Anybody at this point. You look at assistant coaches around the league. I'm trying to snag anybody. Anybody that's a kindergartner who draws in crown would be better than Brett Brown at this point. They would know to make adjustments to stop the dribble penetration from their guards. Because literally it was 2 dribbles, got to the 10. 2 dribbles, got to the 10. You never saw any double teams. They always get us when they set a screen. We go underneath it. They get the mismatch. They get either JJ or TJ on them. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, he's very young, Sean. In 2009, he was 7. God, I was way older than that when they won. Jay Wright maybe doesn't look too good. I don't know if Jay Wright's ever going to leave Villanova or college, to tell you the truth. And to say that he would be successful is nothing you don't know. A lot of coaches don't have success. Brad Stevens did, but look at Paterno. Not Paterno. Pitino. Rick Pitino. Wow, you're really young, bro. Holy crap. At least you were young enough and didn't have to struggle all those years for watching the Phillies lose. You know, I waited close to 20-some years for them to win a championship. So that's awesome. And I wasn't even alive when the Sixers won, so I'd like to see that. That's why I get so frustrated when this happens. Is there any updates on Jimmy and Fultz? Fultz, no, Rod. And Jimmy, it's a favorable injury, they said, but there's no timetable on when he can return. I figured they'd sit him out tonight because we'd have an easy opponent. We should have handled them easily tonight. We didn't because we struggle with them. And I don't know if he'll be back now Friday. Groins are a tricky injury. They can linger. You don't want to aggravate them at all. And a Yankees fan. Man, you are an interesting sports fan there, Creeper. I think we need to look at a point guard who can shoot. I want Joel Embiid. I agree. We need definitely a backup center and a true point. We just got to make a trade. EB cannot sit on this anymore. We have to make a move because look at the Phillies. They're sitting on crap. We haven't signed Harper or Machado, which I don't think we're going to sign either. But you gotta stop waiting on this. We got to move now because our coach is a moron. I want Mark Jackson. You don't want Mark Jackson? What? Stop it. We are not signing Harper, bro. I think he's going to L.A. And, Sean, you're not that old, man. I mean, you're a little bit older than me, but not much older. So you really struggled through some years, Sean. I don't know who you root for respectively of every other sport. I don't know if you rock Philly 4-4. I know you live down in Florida. But yeah, man, I still know. Do you remember when the Sixers lost? It was actually 0-1, Creeper, when they lost, not 0-3. Sixers lost to the Lakers in 0-1. But yes, I do remember that. I'm still weeping. Harper and Machado are not signing till January. Bunch of rumors. B. Benjamin in front court will turn his team defensively into a hugger. Oh, you're 47, Sean. Hey, you're still a spring chicken. Still a spring chicken, homie. Oh, Juggernaut. It was probably a typo. Yeah, 03 was the Nets. Dude, 11 minutes left in the third quarter, and that's for in the bro, I know, Broads. I don't understand it. It makes no sense why they weren't being aggressive at that point. That is like a gift wrap. A gift wrap present, an early Christmas present for that to happen, and you let it go to waste. And then you let Joel Embiid not touch the ball. You let him have 3 shots for the rest of the game. Your best player. He could have gone off for 45 or 50 points tonight. Nobody was stopping him. Nobody. But that's Brett Brown there for you. Creeper, if you're talking to me, I live in Philly. Born and raised. And I'm never leaving. Everyone gets a career high against us. Always Philly 2008. It's like he's known for his defensive prowess as a coach. Learned under Greg Popovich, but I haven't seen an inkling of Greg Popovich's coaching style in this system at all. I can't believe the for Concord West could save the day. Hey, it was close, dude. And I was really getting excited when ShamWow was out there and he hit them crazy threes. Like, it kind of gave you some hope. But, you know, he should have been out there way earlier when JJ couldn't hit anything, dude. He should have pulled him. He should have had enough sense. Pulled him, because Popovich would have done that. But he loves JJ. He gets his back. He's obsessed with JJ, whatever it is. I know it was, bro. I know it was, bros. That's funny. What's up, everybody? Shamet was trying to pull a T-Mac. He almost got it when he was on the Rockets. T-Mac scored, what, 13 points with 54 seconds or something like that? It was reminiscent. I was praying that was happening. And then when he got fouled there at the end, if that would have went in, we would have been down 2. It was close. It was so close. But the defense was non-existent, dude. Who will win you games? Eric, you talking about Brett? My favorite states. That's awesome, Creeper. I don't know if he will, though. Because, yeah, you win 53 games during the regular season. I don't care about it. Like, it's cool if you get to the dance, but you're getting knocked out in the playoffs. It's Andy Reid all over again. Great during the regular season, can't do shit in the playoffs. Same with Peyton. Was a monster during the regular season, choked in the playoffs. I don't want that to be us or our identity. No updates on Jimmy. They just said his injury's favorable. More than likely, he's probably not going to be playing Friday. And now that worries me when we're playing a very good Indiana Pacers team. You've got Oladipo. I think he's out, though, too. I think he's injured. But they still got other guys on that team that can pick it up. And they've got a very good coach in Nate McMillan, who has gotten better over the years, too. Because he struggled mightily. His 52 wins were kind of overrated, like in the second half of their schedule. Yeah. That's not telling, that's for sure. Shake Milton did is because we only had an 8-man rotation tonight because Muscala was out and Jimmy Butler. It seems we are still undermanned after this trade. So you figured if those two were going to be out, why would you send Bolden down to the Bluecoats and only use an 8-man rotation? Patton's out. I don't know what's wrong with him. I know he's had that foot surgery, but how long is he going to be out? We need him majorly to get back on this court. Shake really didn't play that much. But with the success that Korkmaz and Shamet have had, they should have got... Well, he got the start, obviously. Korkmaz is, but Shamet should have got more playing time. Oh, you mean Mark Jackson. Dude, I really liked what I saw out of Jackson when he was... when he coached Golden State. I really do. At least he has the sense to make adjustments. He made that team better year in and year out before they were the superstar team that they have become now. And right, defensively, that's like, I want to see a coach that actually truly knows how to make adjustments and can coach defensively. Like, take them down. Like, I don't know if Van Gundy will ever come out of retirement, Jeff Van Gundy, or he just likes this cushy commentating job, like Gruden. Never thought I'd see Gruden back on the gridiron ever either. Gamir is any better than Bolden, at least Bolden. Yeah, exactly. He's been bitten by Father Time. Amir's done. He's just got to go. I like the guy. He'll do the nitty-gritty out there for you, but he's not athletic anymore. He can't really stay with anybody, and it's a shame. I don't think we should have brought him back for this season. They did. I didn't think that was a good move. And he gives blows to Embiid here and there, but at least Bolden's younger. That's all you really can pretty much say. How worse can he be defensively than Amir? I appreciate that, Creeper. And I'll never break my TV. I just get that frustrated. I feel like it sometimes. I know, Philly 2008. Why do you have TJ and JJ on Dinwiddie the entire time? Put Ben Simmons on him. Put a good defender on him. Wilson Chandler. Anybody other than freaking those two are two worst defensive players on the team. And then they hit us with the switch because and that's where our players, they should have the IQ, basketball IQ, and they don't. Because they always go freaking try to run through the screen or never try to run under it. They try to run over it, and then they get the switch, and then they take advantage of it. All right, have a go on Fox 87. Very frustrating loss. So for anybody that doesn't live in the U.S. and want to know what happened during this game, don't even watch it. Don't waste your time. It's frustrating. He shouldn't be playing 30 minutes. I've stated that the past couple videos, that TJ's getting way too many minutes. We need another guard on this team. TJ's good in spurts. Okay, 10, 12 minutes a game. Gives you that energy off the bench. You have a great night. Have a good one, man. I still pissed that your Celtics won. I'm never going to root for them or wish them the good luck, and I hate the Yankees too. But I appreciate that. It looks like we're going to have way too much defense. None at all, Matt. None at all. 127 points to Brooklyn. 70 points for that big. But cheating now it's just like you think, was Brett relying so much on Jimmy to have yet another star, and then we're going to expect another star to get here to kind of overshadow his lack and ability to coach? You got to look at that in the viewfinder, and Elton Brand has to do it too. But there is he's not on the hot seat. And I'm wondering when he's going to be on the hot seat, when the organization looks at this and thinks, is this the guy to coach us to win us a championship? Because I don't think it is. You watch the games that we've played so far, and he just doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't. And you got a young GM in Elton Brand, so he's not going to make the move. And our owners know nothing about sports or basketball, so they're not going to pull the trigger on it. We're in a tight situation right now. Unless we go on like a huge losing streak and miss the playoffs, that's the only way I see Brett Brown being on the hot seat. Because of his defense, but I hate his streaky shooting. If Jimmy was in here, it would have been a whole different story. You could have thrown him on there. But you had capable defenders in Ben Simmons and Wilson Chandler to shut down the guard penetration. Because when we played them up in Brooklyn, who killed us? It was the other guard. I can never remember his name for some reason. Dude used to play for the Lakers. He murdered us. And they make these guys look like freaking all-stars. Like they're going to be Hall of Famers. Yes, thank you, Russell. And it's just like, they killed you last time when we played it. Every team that comes in here, there was a streak of guards that went for 45+ on us. And then nothing. And then you played a couple sputtering teams in the Knicks, the Wizards, where we shut them down, and it was like, okay, We shut a couple teams down, but then it went right back to this. The guard penetration. And I will never get over that third quarter where they dropped 37 points on us and we had them in the penalty with 1 minute gone in the third quarter. Just lack of aggression, lack of NBA intelligence, or not basketball IQ, or the lack thereof. Another problem also is that we can't seem to guard off. Nope. They want us in ISO ball. That's exactly what they do. They want us to get in an ISO ball, and they have Embiid out there on the perimeter. I can't stand when I see that either. Embiid should never leave 5 feet from the basket. He should be in or around the paint at all times. He should not be going out there and trying to guard around the three-point line ever. And he voiced his frustrations with that, with Brett Brown telling him that that's what he wants him to do, which is idiotic to me because you take a premier shot blocker that can guard the paint, and teams kill us in the paint. They just average over 50 points a game. I forget how much the Nets scored against us tonight in the paint, but they went to the line 43 times on the road. Okay? I don't know if I'm making that clear enough. 16 times for us at the line, 17 turnovers. 43 times for the Nets. That's what won that's what won them this game. Not taking their foot off the pedal and staying aggressive non-stop. They have a chip on their shoulder and they know it. Sixers play down to competition all the time. No, right, Lionel. When did you ever see Shaq ever leave the paint? Never. And he was a good shot blocker for how big that he was. You never saw Shaq do that. Same should go for Embiid. But Embiid voiced his opinion. Brett doesn't want him doing that. Brett wants him out there on the perimeter. He wants him chasing guards. He wants him on guards. That should be very telling for what kind of coach Brett Brown is. He's a moron. I'm done with my rant, though. So you look at the points against Sixers with guards. You had Kemba Walker go for 60. Dinwiddie went for 39 tonight. He went for 39 tonight. Russell went for 40-something, I believe, when we faced him in Brooklyn. There was 2 other guards that got 50-plus against us. It's bull, dude. Kennard, right. Luke Kennard went off on us. So, and that's what sucks, too, is you face the Pistons and your bench was so great. It's just a lot of fingers to point against us losing the night. But you cannot win NBA games night in and night out by letting the team score over 115 points a game. Okay, you know what Brett kind of reminds me of? If you guys remember Mike D'Antoni's teams, the Suns in the early 2000s, scored a ton of points but never played any defense. And he never won a championship, and he never will. With those kind of accolades, you have to win. Defense wins championships. I'm old school. I still believe that to this day, even though this game is adapting too. I was wondering what you thought about the comment Joel made about not being used right. I think he's correct. I believe him 100%. He isn't being used right. And Brett Brown doesn't utilize Joel to his fullest potential either, because you saw it again tonight. Look, he went away from him in the second quarter, or in the second half, I mean. Huggins' last offense is horrible in the playoffs. You know, he was cooking the night. He had 23 and 17 going into the half, took 3 shots. You went away from him. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, or any reason you should ever go away from Embiid in any offensive set. It should be run through him at all times, whether it's him on the block, setting screens, setting up his teammates. It should run through him 24/7. You will always work inside out. It gives him the ability to have open shooters around the perimeter, which is what the Spurs like to do. If you remember when they had Duncan, and they always had those perimeter players waiting with their hands ready to pop threes. Okay, that's what we thought we were going to get here. No, he just goes away from it. It's just the lack of knowledge is what it comes down to. Sixers lose 127 to 124. I blame tonight on Brett Brown again. And no adjustments are going to be made because it continues to happen game in and game out. And wait till we face a playoff team. I don't want us to sink and continue to sink. Because if that's the case, Jimmy might not resign here next year if we sink out of the playoffs. Because all he cares about is winning. The defense is god-awful. It's non-existent, bro. There is no defense with this team. That's why they let big leads. They bleed them out. I remember last year I went to at least 3 games where they were up 25+, and they ended up losing all of them because they can't hold leads because they don't play defense. Joel needs pass out of double teams, keep dribbling. He struggles with that, and he still needs to work on his game. You know, he's not perfect. He needs to beef up. For sure. I think he needs to hit the gym more, work on his stamina, because that's the lack thereof, and passing out of the double team, he struggles. That is the way to beat Embiid. You throw bodies on him, he's ineffective. He panics. And then he's got a high turnover ratios because he tries to act like a guard and hit him with a crossover or whatever. It's like, bro, you're 7'2", get down on the block, overpower him. It's simple. You're cool. You definitely want to be on a highlight reel, and I love when he does, stuff like that because it's cool when it's successful. But when you're stumbling around and losing the ball and causing 6 turnovers or 8 turnovers a game, and leading the team to be up or down, especially when you're down and trailing, you don't want stuff like that to happen. You gotta play fundamental basketball. Just get back in the game. If you're up 20, fine, do that shit all you want. Not when you're down though. That could be because he doesn't really trust his teammates when we're struggling. Well, nobody moves, too. If you watch, when he does get the ball, there's not a lot of movement. They kind of just stand around and watch. Nobody's going back door. Nobody's trying to work off screens. JJ stays in one spot. It turns into ISO ball. So that's also the other issue. Teammates aren't directing players where to go. When Shaq would be on the block, I remember... And they were so good at this. Derek Fisher, Kobe'd always be cutting to the basket. Or they would try to be working open Robert Horry for a corner 3. We did do it a lot last year, Philly. What do you think of Ben's play tonight? I think it was 22-8. He played good tonight. I have no qualms about Ben Simmons' game tonight. And I've been rough on him all year. He played good tonight. He was aggressive. He was decent on the defensive end, although he really didn't have to guard too many people. He was on the block. They got him late. They got to him the ball late a couple times when he had deep penetration. When you see Ben like that right under the basket, dude, you got that deep penetration. You got to get him the ball right away. I was happy with the way he played. He was aggressive. He had a couple nice breakaway dunks. He was awesome tonight. We strayed away from what the winning formula was last year, Philly 2004, or 004. And I'm not sure why that is. Not like much has changed. We haven't even hit a rough stretch yet. Yeah, these are W's we should get no problem. Wait till we start playing really good teams. Okay? Because our schedule's been fairly easy. We haven't really hit teams that are playoff bound, like great teams. Okay, what are you going to do when you hit the Lakers or you hit a stretch where you got to play the West? The Mavericks. They're on the up and up. They're on a rise right now. Luka Doncic is killing it. No doubt in my mind he wins Rookie of the Year. He's balling out right now. But they got Rick Carlisle. Great coach. Great coach. But that ends my rant for tonight. I'm going to get up out of here, guys. Things got to change. Because Jimmy seems like he might be out for at least a week or so. And that spells bad news for us. Because they're going to double Joel Embiid. And if Ben isn't aggressive, where are the points going to come from? Is Brett Brown going to have enough sense to pull JJ if his shot isn't on? It's all about rotation. We got to pick up more depth, too. We definitely have to make a trade sooner rather than later. We have to act now. We don't know what's going to go on with Fultz. He's not really even a part of this team. And now the player that we traded for that was our closer that really propelled this team to the top and put them in second place, now we're back in third, could be out for multiple weeks. I'm a little worried now. This is KG on BB. What did you guys think of tonight? Do you think it was more on the players or Brett Brown's fault? Do you think Brett Brown has the ability to make adjustments? Or do you think it's more on the players? Leave your comments, concerns. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And welcome to the Bitterbirds family. All right, guys. I'm out. Peace.